Alright, welcome back again to Jedi Fallen Order. After the technical difficulties of the last time, I've actually done some updating of both the streaming and recording setup as well as the game itself, so hopefully we should be able to make our way through Kashyyyk without any additional problems tonight. Let's go ahead and get started. So unfortunately, this game and the streaming app that I was using previously were both pretty intensive on my computer. So hopefully, with some tweaks, I've made it a little better. I'm sure if I had a more expensive setup, then this wouldn't be an issue. But, you know, you work with what you have, right? So last time, we were able to clear this section, but there was a area up ahead with a ladder that we couldn't climb because every time we tried, the game would soft lock. So hopefully, this time, with my tweaks, things will fix themselves.
Very helpful.
As per usual for this playthrough, I'm going to do my best to avoid killing things, especially when it comes to wildlife. But that includes Imperial soldiers as well, when they're not purposely getting in my way. So let's see, are we able to mount the ladder? Yes, we are.
Imperial sap refinery lies dead ahead.
What does the Empire want with tree sap?
Nothing good. They refine the sap into a powerful compound, and they're rushing to expand production.
We have to stop them.
That's the plan. We don't know they're in-game, but they spread themselves too thin. This map we recovered proves it.
Here you go, bud.
These refineries double as brutal prison camps. We use those cutters to create a distraction, while you take your lightsaber and free the Wookiees inside. We need their help to stop the Empire.
Understood.
Watch yourself in there.
You hear that? Said he needs my help. Come on, buddy.
Alright, so we've already gotten farther than we were able to previously in this area, so far so good. Let's keep going. As I recall, this area was shown off in one of the demos that they did at one of the E3 press conferences that talked about this game. Alright, so let's go ahead and refill our health and also visit the skill tree because we have a skill point available. Yeah, let's get our force, maximum force points increased. Okay. I think we'll get Empowered Slow and then Enhanced Force Recovery next. And then Greater Force Attunement after that. Or maybe these as well. We're basically going to focus on the recovery. Obviously, since we're not going to be doing a whole lot of fighting, we don't really need to do a lot of the attack ones. If and when the opportunity presents itself, we can probably add some of them. But for right now, we want to focus on other things. All right.
Over there. One of the cutters turned on. Are they enemy? Hook up.
All right.
Can't stop him.
Okay, this is going to be... Yep, there we go. That's not how the game really means for you to play through that section, but hey, guess what? That's what I specialize in this playthrough. Excuse me. Alright. So those guys all have melee weapons up there, so they can't do anything about it. And I'm going to go ahead and jump up here to another meditation spot, do a quick duck in for a save. So that way if I fall in the water, I won't die right away. So I think, if I remember correctly, what we're supposed to do, what we're supposed to do is fight those guys up there and go through the door. Let me actually verify that real quick. Yeah, there's nothing we can do going this way right now. So we are going to have to fight these guys, unfortunately. Again, this is one of those instances where the game is just like, yeah, no, you're going to have to fight your way out of this. There we go. And here's another enemy we have no choice but to fight. Our first purge trooper. There we go. Lock onto him. In a normal playthrough of this game, this is the first really challenging fight that you have against another saber user, aside from those scout troopers. So for a lot of people, this can be the first major roadblock that you hit in this game if you're not good at the parry timing. Let's go ahead and scan this guy for the extra XP.
I'll fix that. Never seen a trooper like that before. You gotta get these Wookiees out of lockup. Keep moving, Jedi. Vents open. Go.
Yeah, so Saul was up there fighting the whole time. We just didn't really get a good look at him because we were busy with other things. Yeah, the game's already running much better now than it was previously, so that's a good thing.
Flame beetles, they're coming through the walls.
Alright, if I'm not mistaken, let me see, we can't go through here. But I believe we can actually completely avoid this fight. This is supposed to be your introduction to flame troopers, but with a little bit of alacrity. Oh no, we have to activate the drill. And I don't think it'll let me do that unless I kill everybody in this room. So once again, we are forced to fight. Here, stay there for a second, will you?
He can't beat all of us.
Just you and me, scum.
There. Yeah, this is one of those things where Beatty has to do something that he's basically loth to do unless you have cleared out the enemies in a room. That happens a lot in this game, so... See, we were up here before, but he wouldn't climb up there to do the overcharge until I killed all the enemies. So the game forced me into a confrontation there. So there was nothing I could do.
Oh, shortcut. That's why you wanted to move this thing. You had no idea that was there, did you? You just wanted to turn that cutter on.
I do love the little bits of personality that this game gives to Beatty. He's like a mischievous child. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and stop here for a second. There's another fight between the Empire and local wildlife down there, but we're not going to worry about that for right now. We've got another force power that we can do. Let's get the life upgrade. That seems most useful to me right in this moment. We'll rest too to refill the health that we lost in that that fight against the Purge Trooper. Which wasn't my best fight, but you know. So this area, there's two things that you can do here. There's a fight going on between the Empire and those spider things, which we avoided before. Which we can skip, actually. There's also a separate way that we can go if we wanted to fight another optional mini boss. There's a special spider that we could fight if we wanted to. But we're gonna avoid all of that and just continue on our merry way.
I just heard from the captain. They're coming. Oh, this is it. At least we have the high ground. What was that? Another hijacked cutter. Reporting a live cutter near the cell blocks. Immediate aid requested. It's breaking through and destroying everything. You think that's an intruder?
Excuse me, boys.
Blast him. This won't end well. He's mine. He's getting lucky. Stepping back.
Whoops.
Get him. Lay down suppressing fire. Copy that.
There we go.
Still alive in there?
So far, almost to the prison.
Good. Imperial distress calls are going out across the planet. If you don't get the prisoners soon,
We can do this. I promise.
The intruder is here.
Yeah, so again, that game kind of puts you in a position there where you think that that's a mandatory fight, but it's not. Alright, we didn't lose that much health in that confrontation, so...
And our reinforcements.
There's another Purge Trooper. Now this area, I believe we have to go through either that door or that door. I don't remember exactly which one. Let me guess real quick. Okay, so this leads us back here. Yeah, so this is the area we were at before. Oh, that guy got locked out and now his AI doesn't know what to do. Let's go over and grab this really quick. It's a slave collar. Alright, we can't get that, as tempting as that looks right now. Yeah, I know you do. Just freeze.
Face the traitor. I can't fight anymore.
Let's see if it'll actually let me through this door, or if I have to wait. I heard a Wookiee roar for a second there. Come on, game. Don't soft lock on me. We've been doing so well. I know this is it just trying to catch up, but... Yes. Okay.
We'll vanquish you.
Yes, be afraid. I can't fail.
No guards.
Take that.
So once again, we're kind of sequence breaking this game because it assumes that we've killed everything, but we haven't. So
Hunt him down.
I want to see what'll happen if we activate that console while the enemies are still alive. Oh, is it not going to let me do it? Of course it's not going to let me. And I'll have to end this real quick.
All Jedi will perish. You won't land another.
This is my favorite strategy for dealing with these guys, which is to freeze and then chop.
This war with the insurgents will never end.
There we go. Now I'm getting the prompt. So, this game is kind of built to not allow you to play pacifistly, but, you know, we'll do what we can.
We're here to free you.
And we get another look at those kind of ugly Wookiee models. Oh, hey. That's a familiar looking droid.
Visitation is not permitted.
Alright, and another mandatory fight.
Investigating. You will regret that.
So these security droids are the same model as K2SO from Rogue One. And their voices are actually randomized so that they can have a female sounding voice or a male sounding voice. And any droid at any point in the game, because obviously these are going to be a recurring enemy, can have either voice. So that's pretty nice. Can sound like the Alan Tudyk or not like Alan Tudyk. But they all kind of have that same dry humor to them, which is funny.
Glad to help.
I love the thought of them mocapping that where a tall person just screams in the actor's face and then hugs him.
Great work, Jedi. Saw's waiting up ahead.
Alright, so let's go ahead and open this.
It's locked down.
Nope, it's locked. I know Saw's waiting, but we're just gonna go ahead and swing over here. Because this unlocks a handy dandy shortcut back to that area where we were before.
That's a brawler droid processing unit. You thinking what I'm thinking?
And this little upgrade lets us hack into those droids that we just fought. But we don't have to do that, and we're actually not going to do that, because the ideas around droid sentience and everything like that are kind of thorny, so I'm just going to leave them be. And we could talk to the Wookiees, but they really... Cal can't really understand them, so the conversation isn't exactly meaningful, unfortunately. So if I recall correctly, there's at least one more mandatory fight that's going to happen up here somewhere. Can't get up there yet,
Saw's
so...
up ahead. We must be close.
Excuse me, sir?
I'm liking this. He can't
Freeze.
beat all of us. Keep focused.
Okay. If I recall, this takes us to another shortcut further down. It's not the way that we have to go. We actually have to go up for the story. Oh yeah, stream's running much better than it was previously. Should never have tried to switch softwares from good old OBS.
Hey! What's that mean, bud? It's locked down.
Alright. Alright, so we can't get that way yet. We'll get to the other side of that later. Because, spoiler alert, we're not done with Kashyyyk after we finish this mission for Saw. Alright.
You think someone's sneaking around?
Enemy located.
On my way.
Am I too much for you? Target is quick.
As you can hear Saw and his group fighting up there. But, there you go, BD. I know you were kind of reluctant to do that while there are still enemies around, but we do have to... So, we have to get this to turn. There's an upgrade there.
Some kind of trick?
So let's just do it this way. Come on. I know you don't usually like to do this kind of stuff while enemies are aggroed, but okay, we'll just stop it there. And let it start spinning up again. Oh. It's not gonna let me do that? Come on. Come on, game. Alright, so we'll do it the way we were supposed to. What you're supposed to do is jump across, go to this area, go here, and then freeze it again. No, it's just that I don't want you to die, my friend. Yeah, but you can see...
We need the Wookiees to finish this. Hurry!
They've got reinforcements!
Go, go, go! The door's jammed. Won't budge. We're trapped.
Gotta get them out of here.
Alright, looks like we're headed out this way then.
Hurry! We need reinforcements.
Incoming threat. Keep your heads down.
Ow.
Be faster.
Alright, let's lock onto this guy.
You will regret that.
Yeah, because we did need to kill everyone in that room to activate this door. Same as usual.
Who done it? The Wookiees are free. Get to the roof.
There it is.
Holding up okay?
Oh, I missed it.
Good to hear.
Oh well. I'm sure we'll get another chance. Let me do one thing here. Just want to adjust the game volume down a little bit. Looks like it might have been a little loud, and I apologize for that. Alright, so activating that power surge there actually unlocked the elevator that we were at before, so let's go ahead and get some more force points. That's always handy. So yeah, we're a little underleveled. We're not drastically underleveled, but we are a little underleveled. But this room we were in previously with the Purge Trooper in it has an elevator that we can now use to get to the roof. Because we just turned it on. And this is the room that I was thinking of when I said that there was another boss fight where we're just kind of stuck in a room. Like I said, the prompts for hacking those droids are going to come up, but I'm probably not going to end up doing it for the most part. Okay, so here's, if I recall correctly, here's where things start to get hairy.
Jedi, we don't have the firepower to breach this hole.
We're on it.
So we gotta fight another ATST. Thankfully, it's not any tougher than the one that we fought on Zepho. There. Done is done. I like that one guy in the back going, yeah! That's great.
Everyone! These have been hard years. We've lost comrades, friends.
NPC faces don't look great with the graphics downgraded as much as they are. They kind of have a potato face going on. I apologize for that, gamers.
Dark times.
Sacrifice you have to make to get this game to run well on PC. At least with my rig.
Hope still burns. The Jedi are not yet lost. We are not yet lost. Kashyyyk is not yet lost. For the cause! You've seen what the Empire has done to Kashyyyk. These stories are playing out all over the galaxy. My partisans could use a Jedi on our side.
I'm honored. But we have our own mission I can't walk away from. Not yet.
The offer stands. Keep it in mind.
Cal, I'm Mari Kosan, and this is Commander Choisik.
Sorry. I'm not quite fluent.
Choisik says he'll do whatever he can to find Tarful and vouch for you.
Do you think he's still alive?
Have faith, Cal. We'll be in touch with your ship. For the cause.
You know Tarful?
He was part of Tarful's crew, but got captured on a mission. Tarful couldn't risk more warriors to save him. He spent months in that refinery. Choisik will help you find Tarful. They're always on the move. Could take some time.
And that's all I can ask. Thank you.
let's go have another conversation with Saw really quick before we take off.
We did it.
By the skin of our teeth. It'll be harder without your help.
I know. But I can't abandon my mission.
I understand. I got intel that may help you. A few rotations ago, my people searched an abandoned Wookiee village nearby. No sign of Tarful, but we did find out the safest route to the Shadowlands is through this refinery.
I built an escape plan if this didn't work out.
You catch on fast. When you're ready to find Tarful, that's the way to go.
So the Shadowlands are some deep Star Wars lore for Kashyyyk that's been around for quite a while. Basically what the Shadowlands are is because Kashyyyk is mostly forest, there's space underneath it that is always in shadow, hence the name Shadowlands. So there's all sorts of weird wildlife that lives down there that doesn't live anywhere else on the planet, and it's very, very dangerous. So for a place like somebody like Tarful, that's the perfect place to hide out.
Project Augur has been reactivated. The Empire may be close to finding another Zeppo tomb.
Looks like we still have work to do.
So now we have to go back to
The
Zepho.
others will be okay. Always looking on the bright side, huh?
And we've unlocked a shortcut that will take us right back to that refinery
For everything.
when we return. It's always interesting to me how they have all of this Old Republic equipment lying around. Because the Empire is very active here on Kashyyyk, but the Republic was very active here too, so it makes sense that there would still be some of this old military technology laying around that the Wookiees and other people helping them fight against the Empire would be able to make use of. I believe there's... need the scomp link for that one. I think there's another collectible around here as well, but I don't know if we can get to it yet. There's some stuff that we can't get on this planet until we come back to it later.
I'm busy. I gotta figure out what to cook next.
Hey, Seer.
Cal, good to see you back in one piece. Mari Kosan contacted us. We know you couldn't find Tarful.
I love risking our lives for nothing. It's fantastic.
It wasn't for nothing. Mari and Choysic will come through.
I like your optimism. We could all use a little of that now and then.
Hey, I'm a positive guy, too. I'm positive that if I die, I'll be very upset.
You did good, Cal. We might not have found Tarful yet, but you saved lives today. Don't forget that.
Thanks.
We'll talk later.
Alright, so now that optional conversation is extinguished for the time being, let's go ahead and back to the holotable.
So next, maybe...
And the game directs us back to Zepho. Because now that we have some intel, we have some further intel that will... Well, basically, we have to go back here to stop the Empire because they found a different tomb.
The Empire might have found a Zepho tomb. We can't waste any time.
Pity. Heard about a high-stakes game from one of Saw's fighters. A few extra credits couldn't hurt, you know?
Gambling. Grease, use your head. One of these days, the Haxian brood is going to catch up with you.
Ha! Those slubs? I'll hear them coming from a parsec away.
I don't need your gambling habit causing us more trouble with murderous criminal syndicates.
You're right, I know it. I just want to blow off some stress every once in a while, you know? Anyway, all of that is in the past. I'm sure it won't be a problem.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is called Tempting Fate. It's also the only bit of conversation that you get before the Haxian brood actually does become a problem. So if you miss that conversation, then it's very possible that later events in the game happen kind of out of nowhere. Alright, so we're back on Zepho. Let's see, do we have our friends popping into existence, or can we just leave? Okay. Let's check and see if we've got any more optional conversations.
We're unstoppable together. Don't you think, kid, huh? The man is in grades, every time, perfect landing.
You could say that.
Ever piloted a ship before?
No, mostly just scrapper transports in Braca.
Oh, kid, you gotta get in the cockpit sometime. Feel the controls in your hands and the galaxy in your grasp. Oh, it's unbelievable.
Sounds good. Let me know when.
Huh? No, not mine. Not the Manus, no way. I'm just saying you should try it sometime. But with someone else's ship.
It's an interesting little character bit there with Cal. Despite being a Jedi apprentice for so long, he's never flown a ship before.
What's up, Grease?
Remember that scout walker you took down?
The ATST?
Yeah. You got up close and personal, right?
What are you getting at, Grease?
How's about you liberate one of those things from the Empire and I take it for a spin?
Oh. You gonna help me out next time we're in a fight?
What? No. No way. It's always fighting with you. Forget I said anything.
My cat has decided to join the recording. She is currently sitting up behind my head on the back of my chair.
There's a long journey ahead of us. These ancient tombs didn't survive all this time because they were easy to find.
It's a challenge I'm willing to take.
I can see that. I'm glad you believe in what we're trying to accomplish.
I always have. Ever since I was a youngling, I trusted in the Force. Those names on the list, they're a test. And I believe I will succeed.
I like your confidence. A journey like this one can challenge you in ways you've never been before.
I understand. I think I'm ready.
We've got your back, Cal.
Homeworld of the Zepho. Cordova must have spent a lot of time here.
Cordova spent his life studying the history of the galaxy in many different places. Dragged me along on a few expeditions. It was educational.
You really believed in the past?
He believed in the future. But you can't have a future without the past.
Picking up anything?
Nothing new. It still feels risky.
I don't think we have a choice.
We always have a choice. The people the Empire has left behind, destroyed and controlled, are depending on us. On you, Cal.
I know. I'm glad I have you two to back me up.
And we will. We all have to support each other. That's the only way to succeed. There's a lot to learn. Good luck.
Alright, so that exhausts our optional conversations for now. It's nice that we've all become such good friends in such a short time. Alright, so we have to go this way. Which means the quickest route is going to be through the derelict hangar, up through the village, to this area, and then take that path. So the nice thing about this game is that once you've visited planets at least once, anytime you come back, it's easier to plot your routes out because you've been everywhere before.
Incoming! Affirmative.
Excuse me. Sorry about your friend.
Interference detected.
The intruder is here. Saw a squad get overtaken by a group of scaz the other day. Oh, what a terrible way to go. That's what happens when you don't follow. An enemy! Down there!
Alright, so now, I believe, if we take this bridge, it should make our way back to that area much faster.
Jedi!
Okay, let's see. Yeah, we go through here, we take the right path, and we follow that down and in. Let's see, we going the right way, or did I get turned around? I got turned around. Glad I double checked. It's the one thing about this game's map system is that it kind of I don't know. I get turned around sometimes even when I know the levels fairly well at this point because you have to travel them back and forth a lot to get different collectibles. So if you spend a lot of time looking at the map and not trying to memorize locations around where you're walking, you can get confused and wind up facing the wrong way and then end up going in the wrong direction for a good distance. I mean, pardon me. Whoops.
He's trying to run. He's trying to run. Someone get him.
There we go. So yeah, that power that we unlocked that gives us the ability to block while we're sprinting is very handy for this run that we're trying out. Okay, so should just be able to go straight ahead, and there's an area with a breakable wall that we had seen before but never actually went inside. Right up there.
We found the Jedi. Copy loud and clear. Get the enemy. Get up here. Hurry!
Wasn't expecting this. It's a giant Zepho statue. Kind of thought there would be Zepho stuff inside.
Okay, that's something that we've kind of made not obvious. That was that we're actually inside the giant statue now.
Scomplink?
There we go.
You're right. I think I could replace yours with this.
We finally got that Scomplink back. Now BD's back to being just as good now as he was at the beginning of the game when we were able to unlock those doors and things like that.
Want to try it out?
So BD hasn't acquired all of his upgrades, but he's definitely getting quite a lot to be able to help us out with our exploration. So, and unlike the overcharge, Scomplink things are just stuff that you just do those every time.
Intruder! Am I even close to hitting him?
Nope.
I'll shoot him.
Oops.
Okay, I'm done.
Excuse me. Alright, it's gonna make me do it, isn't it?
We'll get you for that.
Once again, BD won't actually do any of the puzzle bits unless all the enemies in the area are dead. So, BD is the bloodthirsty one, not me.
Glad I found you, BD. What is it?
I see you. I can't. I'll catch you.
Yeah, see? One more time.
BD, we gotta get through this way.
And something nice that you can do if you're not
Intruder there.
if you're not scanning something or doing something else with a puzzle thing for BD,
Let me see.
you can actually every time you press down on the D-pad, that would normally be the interact with BD button.
Found you, intruder. I'll break your guard.
It then becomes the check on BD button, and Cal just has a cute little conversation with him. Yeah, just let him go. Yeah, so we were inside that thing. It looks like the Empire has almost completely hollowed it out. So now we have a whole bunch more areas that are open to us, one of which is that Imperial excavation area. And of course, there's a lot of areas down here by the actual catacombs and everything. So, and the ruins. So there's a lot of things that we can do now that we weren't able to do before. So this way should be pretty quick to go back to that main area. And then we can head to the Imperial excavation site. So that's where we're going to next. Okay, so that would be the bottom left of this area.
Got a hostile.
Copy that.
We have to stop him. Get him. It's a range fight now. You and me now. Take that.
Yeah.
Do your magic, BD. Thanks, BD. BD, take a look. What is it, BD?
Yeah, so we really didn't need to do that. That was unfortunate. Thought something more valuable was in there. Oh well. There we go. So we weren't able to... We came over here earlier, but we weren't able to access it because...
BD, we gotta get through this way.
Oh, sorry. I can't hear you through my busted
Good
eardrum.
work, BD.
Tracking target. Is he gonna kill us all?
I mean, if you keep shooting me, yes.
Watch yourselves.
I'm not going to attack the droid. Can't activate the elevator. Alright. We'll just move on. Let's see. Can't go that way, so we're going to go this way. Looks like we have to go up.
You, know any jokes, BD? I don't know. Why? Classic.
That's cute.
There's gotta be some information on their excavation inside, right? Always looking on the bright side. Thanks, buddy.
Ah, yes. One of those.
Stay on you.
Well, he just absolutely smacked that scout trooper. Sorry, buddy.
Intruder there. Understood. Shoot him. Fire on the enemy. I can get him. Hey, fire. Okay.
Okay, so there's something up there that we can't get yet, but we can go through here.
Got a solid guard.
Which way do I have to go? Okay, there's a scomp link there. Just stop shooting me, you morons.
Do your magic, BD.
I don't know. No, that looks like a mini boss fight. Alright. Let's go ahead and step on this. This activates the elevator that we were on previously, so it allows us to go back up and down without having to go all the way around. See?
Think you can handle this, Speedy?
And we can open up this door that we weren't able to unlock, or maybe we could unlock it and I just missed it. Equal chance of either, honestly.
Do not concern yourself with a missing artifact. I'll deal with it personally.
Alright, so let's go ahead and update that skill tree. Let me see. The enhanced force recovery sounds good. And we can get the upgrade to BD's stims after that. And since we didn't rest, the enemies won't respawn, so we can continue moving. We got a purge trooper up ahead, so... Let's see, is there something over here that I can do? No, it's just some nice looking scenery. Let me see. Yeah, it's the only way to go right now. What's up, Buttercup?
I see you, Jedi. Enemy is spry. Protect the Empire.
Are the Inquisitors coming?
It's possible, but we're far from Braca. They might think purge troopers are enough. Or they could be stalling you on purpose. Stay wary. Any sign of the tomb?
No, and the Empire's been stepping up security.
Keep your focus. Watch out for him, BD.
Okay, we'll keep looking.
So this is a cool area. This is actually one of my favorite areas in the whole game. I'm going to rest here for a little bit because that will save us right here. So you can see this. It's a crashed Venator Star Destroyer.
You see the Star Destroyer? It's a Venator.
There could be useful intel inside.
I'll try to find a way to it.
Venators were the main Star Destroyers that were used during the Clone Wars. You see them all throughout that era. So being able to see them here is pretty cool. Being able to go inside one after it's crashed, even cooler. Of course, there's a couple of these big guys kind of walking around here. Here's a nice...
Hey, Grease, you busy?
Well, I was trying to watch the, no, I'm not busy, never busy. So, you need something?
I'm standing next to two crashed ships. Looks like you weren't the only pilot who had trouble with the wind here.
Whoa, 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 you're just realizing that? Where have you been? I mean, it doesn't get better than me.
Yeah, okay. All I wanted to say was thanks.
You're welcome, kid. But, I gotta go. I got a thing, so gotta see ya.
So this is an ARC-170, I believe, which you see in Revenge of the Sith. Excuse me, lads.
Let's move, BD.
I believe... Hang on. Nope. I think this actually might be an important thing for us to scan. Yes! This gets us something for the terrarium.
Kind of remind me of Grease's fur.
Which wouldn't be the first thing to get for the terrarium if we weren't playing the way that we were. Because there are some that you can get earlier, but they are in areas where you have to kill everything in order to get them. So I really don't want to kill these guys to get this collectible. Let's just ignore them and move on. The collectible is going to be a paint job or a bit of like lightsaber pointless for us right now. What we want is to go up there. And this is the area that I came through when I first realized that most of the fights that this game makes seem mandatory are actually optional. It's because they expect you to fight that dude, but you don't have to. You can just walk right past him. There's literally no reason to fight him at all. This collectible we can get.
Hey, BD, take a look.
So
What you got there?
we can go up there as well, but we can't really get anywhere up there right now. We're going to have to come back a little bit later with different abilities to be able to properly explore, but we can... Oh, excuse me, buddy. We can go up here and through there. Come on, BD. There it is. He's freaking out a bit for a second there because I think he thought the enemy was going to attack us, but he's not. And as per usual, BD's not on your shoulder when you go through one of these areas. He'll teleport to you. So something or someone has killed the wildlife in this area already. Let's go ahead and hop down here.
General Jedi, our forces have inflicted heavy damage to the Separatist dreadnought. Unfortunately, the same is true for our vessel. Despite the damage, I recommend we see this through. Together. You know, I'm not one to back down from a fight.
So you'll get some nice audio logs and things from this area that are all about what the ship was doing in the Clone Wars. So that opens up this area for a nice loop back. I don't believe... No. Yeah, so let's go ahead and loop back real quick. Oh, hang on, did BD want to scan something in here? I saw him try to hop off my shoulder for a second there. Nope, okay. Once again, literally no reason to fight that guy. Just gonna run past him and go back up the way we came, and this time, instead of going down, we're gonna go up, climbing higher into the wreck of the Star Destroyer. Alright. So there is an optional boss fight right there. That dude is pretty rough. But if I recall correctly... Yep. No need to fight him at all. Same as with the other guy. Alright. Just walk past this. BD acted like he was going to scan something there, but I guess he decided not to. Alright. Is this going to be another one of those? Yeah, it's another one of those. Because we have to open this door. But to do that, we have to activate the power. And to activate the power, we need BD to do this. Right here. But he's not going to do while there are enemies around. So... This is literally the first time I've had to kill one of these. Because it's the first time that the game's locked me into a room and said you have to kill them to move on.
obtain line of sight. You will regret that.
This is probably what's been killing some of the wildlife in here. Alright, so this is actually a bit of a trick. So you can turn on that power surge, but first you want to come over here and cut this. Because that's that's a power line. So if that's in the water when you turn on the power surge, it's just going to trail electricity into the water and make everything short. So the only way to get through that door. See? You can hear it crackling. Go, we can avoid that rat. I guess it's a scaz. It's their name for it. And get us a force echo.
General, are you injured?
I'm fine, Commander. Where is Mosef? Where is my Padawan?
My men are scanning the wreckage now. We'll find them. I'm getting a transmission now. Probably the squad. Hang on. From the Supreme Chancellor.
So yeah, the crash that happened here was literally right before Order 66. So yeah, you can imagine what happened to the Master and the Padawan. Wow, I was thinking you'd have to time it, but I guess not. Yeah, we're gonna leave that Jotaz alone. Rabbit or not, you know, it's not our business to take his life. Oh, come on, game. Why you gotta do me dirty like that? There we go. All right. This part of this area, I believe, is technically optional. Let me see. Yeah, because we actually have to go to the other area through the excavation. Now that we turn the power on in this area, we should be able to head that way and make our way further up. Okay, once again, avoiding this guy. This is just a regular old Jotaz. No reason for us to mess with him at all. There are some collectibles that are under the water, but we can't get them yet because Cal, while he knows how to swim, isn't particularly good underwater. So that's going to be something that we're going to have to come back and do with later. Now in this area, there are some probe droids.
Probe droid. They're watching us, BD.
Alright, so this I think is a shortcut if we cut this down. Yes, so we don't have to loop all the way around now to get back up here. So we're just going to avoid these guys. So that gold chest up there is a upgrade for something important later on. But we can't get it yet, so just grab this echo instead. There we go.
All squads on red alert.
The commander was killed by a lightsaber.
So at least one of the Jedi that we met before through that Echo, the Master or the Padawan, survived Order 66, at least to some degree. You don't need to overcharge that again, BD. We have it in the right place. Nothing over here, so let's go ahead and go this way. All right. Go ahead and head deeper within
I think
Zepho.
we're getting close. I noticed it earlier, this feeling in the pit of my stomach. At first I thought it was Grease's cooking. Now it's getting even stronger. I think the closer we are, the worse I feel.
You might say that he has a bad feeling about this. Alright, so this area is fun. So this is the Imperial dig site, and it's full of these giant bottomless chasms and a lot of zip lines. So there's a lot of what are for right now one-way paths for us, and we're just gonna have to keep following them until we get someplace where closer to where we want to go. Whoops, didn't dodge that. There's that K2 wit that I was looking for. Oh, and a choke slam. Ouch. There we go.
You want to climb up a zip line?
And now those zip lines are no longer one way.
This motor should do the trick. How does it feel?
And that makes a lot of the exploration in this game much easier. Because now we can go up and down those zip lines in equal measure. See? We can go right back up to where we were before. And now have BD overcharge it. And just go up. Alright. So this loops us back around to where we were before. Oh, there's a probe droid in here. Quit it. Yeah, so they do that. They'll try to self-destruct on you after you damage them. So that unlocks that gate so we can go right through there to where we were before with the upgrade. You can see there's a guardian there too.
What is that?
Get away from it. Open fire.
So that entire group of stormtroopers we can literally just run past. There's no reason to fight them at all. You have to fight this guy though. And unfortunately, most of the times that you have to fight purge troopers, there's no real way to get around them. At least the first time on your way through areas. The next time we come through here, we'll just be able to walk past this guy, so because we have that gate deactivated now. But first time through, yeah.
A worker left their tools in a hurry. They were anxious to locate relics, but also careless of the history buried here.
Well, doesn't look like we can go that way yet. Let's see. Ah, there you are. Alright, so another thing that we can't do going that way. So we're going to have to go this way. And I am going to want to rest here. Let's see what our skill tree can give us right now. Let's get that BD canister up, stim upgrade. Because believe it or not, we're coming up on our first, like, legit boss fight of this game. And I have no idea how that's going to go because we have no combat skills and our health and everything are about where they should be because that's what we've been focusing on. But, yeah, we'll see how this goes. Because guess who's waiting for us here?
How predictable. Oh, yes. I know your name, your past, and most importantly, about Cordova. Tell me, where did he hide the holocron? Outstanding. Suffered far worse. Pitiful. No wonder your master died. You can't run forever. Not quick enough.
I was trying to relearn this timing because I had to fight this fight a lot the first time I played through this game, but it was also on a higher difficulty, so a lot of the attack timings are very different.
You can't win. Accept it.
There we go.
You're learning. Not quite as gifted as Sear's last apprentice, but not bad.
You've been keeping count.
I'm surprised she didn't tell you. Sarah was never good at keeping secrets.
And you know her so well, huh?
She was weak. Cracked in an Imperial torture chair. Surrendered the location of her naive Padawan. They would never have found me.
If it wasn't for her,
Hello, Trilla.
She betrayed me.
Trilla.
In the flesh.
I won't let you manipulate me.
So sure are you? When faced with a choice to protect herself or her Padawan, she chose self-interest. She'll sell you out too.
Well, I can handle myself.
Can you afford to take that chance? Your new master harbors great darkness. The look on her face when she saw what they had done to me, as I am now. She turned, exposing her true nature. She used the dark side.
She cut herself off from the Force.
Oh? How long before she cracks and betrays you too? Is that who you want beside you when you find the holocron? What would Jaro Tapal say?
You have no right to mention his name.
I wonder, what would he think if he could see his Padawan now, skulking in the shadows with a betrayer, granting her access to a legion of impressionable students?
No, I won't let anyone touch them.
I thought the same thing once.
I love the second sister. I love her theme. It's the one bit of music in this game that really stands out from the rest. And I love what they do with her character in this game. It's so good. Best part of this game, by far, is Trilla and her arc.
Thanks for the help back there, BD. You saved my life. And got us closer to the tomb.
Yeah, that fight against the second sister, when I originally played this game, I played on Jedi Master difficulty, which is the second highest. That fight probably took me in the neighborhood of 15 or 16 tries. Because it was the first time that I really had to learn how to use the parry mechanic. I couldn't just block. You have to parry her in order to get her stamina down in order to do damage to her. So, yeah, that was a fun fight. But it was also very hard. Not so much on this difficulty, but, you know.
I don't know. I don't like it.
So the first tomb that we found, the Tomb of Wind, was very straightforward. With a lot of simple kind of wind puzzles. This tomb is much more complicated.
I found it, but Seer, why didn't you tell me?
Because she's a liar.
You... How?
I rerouted communication the moment you tried to contact her. Slicing encrypted transmissions was always a pastime of hers. She taught me once. There's no technique Sarah has that I haven't perfected.
So that's why Sarah's been so good about getting us Imperial transmission logs and things like that at every planet that we've gone to. And it's a technique that she taught Trilla. Which means that odds are the Empire's been able to listen to our communications this entire time, which is how the second sister got here before us. Hey, guess what, guys? It's time for another mandatory fight. Remember how the previous Guardians that we fought can be manipulated by having their insides force pushed out? Whew, bless me. Sorry about that. Well, this one can't, so let's just run for now. You thought it was a mandatory fight. So, here's a puzzle. There's an indentation for one of those ball things, and The one here is broken, so we're going to have to try to find another one from somewhere else. Did you see the Guardian appear there for like 2 frames like a villain in a horror movie? That was great.
Find something?
My friend, these devices appear to simulate this planet's gravitational pull. I can't help but see it as a motif.
So these little balls right here are going to be very important to us throughout most of this area. So they carry flames inside of them, which we can use to incinerate plants like the ones that we just did. Go ahead and rest here so we can save our progress so far through this tomb.
You're running out of time.
For what?
My scouts located an artifact of interest at the rear of this tomb. Even now I'm studying it, learning his secrets. It seems Cordova was rather taken with the Zephyr. Perhaps enough to hide the holocron amongst their bones.
Yeah, we'll see how much you learn.
Alright, so that looks like an optional collectible, so we're gonna not go there.
Attack the enemy.
I can't catch him.
Adversary inbound. Charging to the enemy's position.
On target. Move up now.
Alright, so this is an area we can't do anything with yet because we don't have the ability needed. Let's try over here. I believe this is just a collectible.
Yep, there you go. What you got there? Something interesting?
Ah, hazy and smelt. Very good conductor, I hear.
What I found here is disconcerting.
So that... Ah, there's the sphere that we need, but it looks like it's trapped behind glass, so we're going to have to find a way to break that glass in order to get in there. Alright. Alright, do you mind?
Taking the shot.
Understood.
Take a hit.
Take him out. Catch him. Go away.
Alright, you just stay there for a second. I just want to work on this puzzle. Stay.
Try dodging that. Keep on him.
Alright, if you're going to be difficult...
BD, I need help.
You got a death wish? Guess so. So I hit the top of my D-pad there by accident. That's why Cal called out for BD's help. I didn't really need help, but, you know. So there's a Guardian here that literally will not attack you unless you attack it first. So there's no reason whatsoever to do that. I'm just going to go right over here. Do a quick meditate. Quick savey save. And keep going. Hopefully we're able to get through all of the puzzles in this area by the end of the stream.
Better double back and tell the squad.
I believe... Yeah, so we have to clear out these plants in this area so we can work our way higher up. You can see we can't get across this area right here. So we're going to have to go back to that area with the And that Skaz, yeah. If he's not going to mess with us, we're not going to mess with him. So you can see we're supposed to try to climb up there, but we can't right now because those roots are blocking our way.
Jedi! Take that!
There we go. Once again, no one has to die. Because the game tempts you by putting that stormtrooper right out there on the ledge and have him not facing you, and he won't notice you at all. But, yeah, we're just going to avoid that bait, and we're just going to keep moving and find our way to the next puzzle. That's the other half of this tomb that's can be quite tedious on your first playthrough, is that a lot of it is exploration. Because this tomb is actually massive.
More of my soldiers breach this tomb every...
Let me go.
Afraid to face me yourself?
Had your droid not intervened, I would have killed you with ease.
Debatable.
It's okay, buddy. Just ignore her.
Yeah, see? BD sticks up for Cal. I really like this area. This is a cool puzzle. It's not, again though, it's not really a puzzle. It's more of just a lot of traversal. And the main puzzle is just figuring out where you can go. And you just have to remember that these vines are always climbable.
Take him on.
You're not getting out of here alive.
Sounds like we've got a purge trooper somewhere up ahead. Yep, there he is. Are you going to come down here? Alright. You're going to come down here. I'm just going to go up.
Roger. In pursuit. Assail the intruder. Jedi injured.
There we go.
Target is too far.
There's an enemy we can just avoid. So that purge trooper only has melee weapons, so he's not going to attack us over here. Missed me. So again, there's no real puzzle to this. It's just a matter of, like, figuring out where you need to go and how to get there. Whoop. Let's try that again. So what's the one ability that Cal has that's been pretty much mandatory through this entire journey? That's his ability to slow things down. Excuse me, Mr. Skaz. Sorry to break into your home like this. We've got somewhere to be. Yeah, there's a flamethrower goon out down there taking out Skaz. We're just gonna run right past both of them. Ah, yes, one of these guys. Excuse me, buddy.
Imagine the artifacts the Empire would have missed if it weren't for your intervention on this backwater planet.
Sure it's worth the cost? I hear Project Augur came at a high price.
Stormtroopers and workers. Expendable resources.
You're a monster.
I am what Sarah made me.
Alright, so we're now above the central chamber. Right below us is the sphere that we need, but again, it's in glass. And we can't break it yet, so we're going to need to keep moving.
You're mine, traitor. He's listening. I'll drop him.
Once again, another purge trooper that we don't need to fight.
Intruder there. Moving back.
I've taken the artifact back to my ship for analysis. Pity you couldn't make it in time.
Doesn't matter what you steal. You'll never understand it.
Yet you do?
You'll find out soon enough.
I'll take those odds.
Pursuing the intruder.
Alright, so now we've got some platforming to do. Getting from column to column. Got it. That's a tricky jump to make. You have to stand on the you have to be on the very edge of that platform. Alright, gonna make our way up. Alright. Again, what's the one force power that Cal's had since the very beginning of his journey that seems like it should be pretty much mandatory to understand at this point? Let's see, is there anything back in this corner? Yes. But let's go ahead and turn these off before we go. There we go. That'll make our journey back much easier. Because we're reaching the heart of the tomb now. This is where things get interesting. So this is where the sage himself is buried. Now we're going to go ahead and rest because we haven't really killed anything down here and we need our full health. So there's a lot of dudes out there.
I noticed something while examining the sarcophagus. It's a very convenient location to dispose of nuisances.
You lured me here. Was this your plan all along?
You truly have the wits of a scrapper.
Yeah, so it's interesting how the Zepho kind of have a very Egyptian vibe to them. Of course, they're also massive. So this sarcophagus is huge. Bye.
He's too scared. Watch your foot. Destroy that creature. Get to the Jedi.
Nope, I think the chain over there was already... Oh, never mind. What's the one major Jedi power that we don't have yet? That we really should have?
Everywhere it is within me, it surrounds me.
Just so. It connects you. There will be times when emotion, pain, or exhaustion trick you. You will feel cut off, isolated. This is an illusion. Your lightsaber lies there, out of reach, but you remain connected through the Force. Feel that energy around you, and summon your weapon.
Forces within you, around you, connecting you to your weapon.
You must ignore all distraction.
Force is with me. It connects us. Yeah, think so.
So now we have force pull. Or just pull. That allows us to reach those out-of-reach vines that we had before, making it much easier to traverse a lot of platforming areas, and allowing us to get to places that we previously couldn't, just like with all the force powers that we've gotten so far. And it lets us solve puzzles like this. You pull the sphere, and then you push it.
You survived.
Not part of your plan?
Luckily, I always allow for contingencies.
Alright, let's go ahead and save here real quick, and then we've got to head back to the center area. We do have more abilities that we can get on that grid, but we don't have any skill points, so it doesn't matter. And most of them are combat related anyway. Not all of them, but most of them. So we're going to go ahead and keep moving. Now, if I recall correctly... Yep, there's enemies out here now. I think this belongs to you.
Looks like our training paid off.
I mean, nah.
We'll end this quick.
I'm just going to keep moving. I mean, there's nothing stopping me. So we'll go ahead and stun that guy. I believe we can keep moving this way. Right? Let me see. Ah, no, there's a vine up there that we can grab. Alright. I have to get my force points back real quick. There we go. Sorry. Alright, and now for one of these puzzles. I have to do this a lot to raise some gates and get through some new areas. Or areas that we've been to before that we just couldn't fully traverse previously.
Get him! I can't keep track of him.
Just keep moving. See? Useful vines. It also makes any of those vine swing sequences much easier than they were before. Because whereas before you could jump and just slightly miss vines, now you basically can't.
This was an offering to the Sageberry here. At the time, it was considered precious.
Alright, so there's one of these guys in here now. Oh. Well, we'll let the stormtroopers deal with him. We've got work to do. Alright, so the Guardian was there, so that means we need to go this way, I believe.
Got an intruder! You can't escape us! Don't let up! Hurry, end it!
There we go. So we've got to get back to that upper part of that central chamber so we can solve the puzzle. So now the wildlife is starting to fight back against the Empire in earnest, and there's Guardians all over the place now too. So we have to drop that glass right there onto the center area of the floor below. That will break the glass and release the sphere, which we can then use to raise the platform. But to do that, we have to unwind that thing right there. So you can see there's a bunch of spheres all around this area.
Thanks, BD.
There's a bunch of spheres around this area, and there's that thing right there with the rope. So we've got some work we need to do for this puzzle. See? Now the thing that we need to do is if we release this, it doesn't fall all the way because the chain is still holding it up. What we need to do is we need to pull it out and have the chain... See the chain right there has some roots keeping it attached? We have to use a candle to break the chain. But how do we do that? Because the candles are all over there on the other side. And yeah, the candles are all there on the other side of the platform. And we can't reach them. Something that... this is a mechanic that I haven't shown off yet. I'm explaining it poorly. So the candles are all over there, right? We need to use a candle to break this vine right here. And you think, well, why can't you just throw it? Well, it's because of the water. The water coming down here will actually break the candles on their way to it. So we'd have to stand somewhere over on this side in order for it to work. And the way to do that... Excuse me, friend. I'm just solving a puzzle here. Don't mind me. Is to reactivate that grav lift that we had right there. Then grab one of these and push it over there so it gets stuck and goes to the wall. Now, if we grab it from there, we're now on this side of the waterfall. So we can just chuck it right there. And that drops the sphere down onto the platform below, releasing it, which means that we can now... Because now we can pull the spheres in addition to just pushing them, so that makes it much easier to manipulate them for puzzles. And we can put the sphere in there, which causes this platform to rise. And the stormtroopers killed him. It's a shame.
Finally found an intact representation of this sacred Zepho artifact. My friend, look closely. This is Mixro at the vault on the gunner. You can see an object in their hand. Based on this imagery, I believe this object allows a force wielder to perceive the mysteries of the vault. This is the key and the guide, the Zepho Astrium. But who would destroy images of it and why? Requires more research. However, our next step is clear. Find an Astrium, if any still exist.
An Astrium. You ever heard of it? Me neither. But a key. Yeah, I understand that. Looks like we know what we have to find.
Sweet. Find a Zepho Astrium. It's our next task. Let's go ahead and unlock this little container before we do.
Hey, BD, what's this? What's that, BD?
It's a nice thing about finishing off that that tomb is it actually pops us out outside already. So you can see there's the Zepho statue that we were at before. Let me actually go ahead and switch up our poncho because the one we've got is getting kind of old. Go ahead and do a quick meditate right here. Rest, and then we'll check out the new abilities on our skill tree. So you can see we're not 100% filled yet, but a lot of them have filled in. And unfortunately, a lot of the ones that are on here now are 2 skill points instead of just 1. So, yeah. So that's going to be a lot of saving for that. We're going to go ahead and get empowered slow for now because that will come in handy for things including puzzles later on. And then we're going to try to save up more, 2 of each to get, we're going to save up 2 points or 3. Yeah, you know what? We're probably going to do 3. Because this one is really good. Either way, we have 2 for maximum force increase, 2 more for another maximum life increase over here. So that's 4, and then 3 for the power of friendship, which is every time BD uses a stim canister to refill your health, it also refills your force meter, which is incredibly handy. So that's a total of 5. I'm gonna be interested to see if we manage to get 5 before the end of the game. Probably, because they tend to hand them to you.
Padawan. You've cleared the way.
What are you talking about?
I needed this tomb raised, and now that I have what I need, you're of no use to me.
Can you reverse what she's done? Thanks. Hope this new encryption keeps her out for good.
Really, dude? I swear, these stormtroopers all have death wishes.
Probe droid processing unit. What's it like hacking other droids anyway? Yeah, I feel weird about hacking people too. For a good cause though, right?
Which is why we haven't done it. Because if the game even raises objections about the actually doing it, yeah. That gives us the ability to slice probe droids in addition to our ability to hack the security droids, but we're just
They're not answering.
not paying attention to it either way.
We need to get back.
So yeah, we can't get in contact with the Mantis.
Think it's some kind of trap? Seems like we've been walking into a lot of them lately. Wait, do you hear that?
So we can't get in contact with the Mantis. Trilla's hacked our comms, but BD says that he fixed it. I believe there's a collectible up here. So now that we have pull, we can get to almost every area of the game. There's still a few areas that we can't get to because there's another, believe it or not, there's yet another movement upgrade that we haven't got yet.
Come on, let's get him. Okay then.
Whoop, now we're going the wrong way.
Taking aim. Just hide him.
Let me see, which way do we need to go?
Jedi, on him.
Okay, so we need to go back down and then around.
We've got an intruder here. He's too quick.
Excuse me, boys.
Take the shot. You got it. It's the Jedi. Get him.
So I believe... Yes, this is the right way.
Intruder there. Point taken. After him. Firing on the enemy. Someone else get in there.
Oops. Gotta jump on this wall first. Whoops. That's not what I meant to do. I'm gonna go ahead and play that one in the game. But you can see how much that that force pull makes it easier for us to grab those ropes and stuff like that. Makes that part of platforming much easier. Come on, game. Work with me. Let's go ahead and head back up. The Mantis should be right up here somewhere. Where's this fella? So yeah, that's our first death?
BD. Where are we? BD1? Little buddy? Where are you? BD? Gotta find a way out of here. Wherever here is. Something back there. Is that a power cable?
So yeah, remember what Grease was saying about criminal syndicates and the Haxian Brood? And how that sort of past would never catch up to us? Well, guess what? He was wrong. Surprise, surprise. So we don't have our lightsaber. We don't have BD, but we do have our force powers. Which means we can still find a way out of here. There we go.
Door opened up. Let's see if I can find a way out of here.
So this area is a very interesting level. It has a unique design. You never come back here after the first time you're through it. And there are lots of enemies in this area that are both related to and not related to things that we've already fought in the game. And there's a lot of dead things, too.
What happened to them?
A lot of dead things.
BD1, is that you? I found you. Are you okay?
You see him? He's right...
Get you out of there.
Let's see. There. I've got him right in the middle of the screen there. He's not moving, though, which isn't a good sign. That means they probably got a restraining bolt on him. Alright, so we'll go ahead and let that go. And the nice thing about these power cables is that they're industrial strength, which means you can use them as platforming aids as well. So there's all kinds of animals here. One's from Zepha, one's from Kashyyyk. Even one's from Bogano. Looks like we can't get through there without a scomp link, so we definitely need BD's help. Looks like we have to get up there. Well, hitting that Skaz corpse kind of made our camera freak out there for a second. Go ahead and pull that back to us. Plug that bad boy in. And drop down to the room where BD is.
Hey! Oh, I'm happy to see you too. Let's get that restraining bolt off of you.
Yep, there you go.
Jerks. Poor droids. Let's get out of here before the same happens to us.
Yeah, so this is a room full of scrap droids, including an Imperial interrogation droid, a bunch of Gonk droids, some medical droids, a couple of R2 units, some R4 units. So yeah, this is a pretty grim place for poor BD to be. Let's go ahead and pull that off there.
Good work, BD.
All right. Let's go ahead and head this way. This is where the door that we couldn't unlock was.
Think you can break in?
Of course he can. It's BD we're talking about. All right, so we already have this machine kind of hooked up properly. What we need to do, we need to move this power cable back to where it was. And we need to have BD overcharge this one. And that turns on this elevator. Let's head back up to the surface.
Hear that? Sounds like someone is home after all. Hey, I recognize this band.
This is the same song that Cal was listening to at the very beginning of the game. Which I believe is a real-life song by a real-life Mongolian rock band, if I'm not mistaken. That shouldn't be happening. There we go.
And who are you?
Who am I? I'm Sort Tormo, baby. I'm the boss of this operation. You have greasy forearms to thank for bringing us together.
I will. As soon as we get out of here.
Might want to watch your geometry there, dude.
An enforcer from a bygone era. A Jedi! Let's see what he's got. Oh, somebody get baby his toy.
Show? I'll give you a show.
So yeah, welcome to Thor Ragnarok.
We celebrate those fallen challengers of the past and the great sacrifice they made to make us all rich.
So we are locked in this arena, and we have to kill everything in it in order to escape. Including enemies that we've faced before but never actually had to fight. Because I want to do something with this guy. There is a way. If you freeze him right as he's using that tongue attack, you can cut his tongue off. And this is the only opportunity in this run that I really have to show it, because this is the one fight against this guy that's actually mandatory. There we go. Nah, didn't work. Never mind.
Maybe you should come down and face me yourself.
I'm too busy counting my credits.
So you can see there's kind of people around too. Watch, but they don't really move. So yeah, everyone is here. All of the enemies from all of the planets that we were on before. All the ones from Bogano. All the ones that we saw, but we never actually fought. And then these guys, who we haven't even had a chance to fight yet, because they're on a planet that we haven't been to. Because these aren't the same spiders that we saw on Kashyyyk. These are different ones. Whoops. Alright, so we got one of those spiders from Kashyyyk and one of these guys from Zepho. Sorry. Planet we were just on. Come on, Ben. So this guy's definitely the more dangerous of the two, because the spider, believe it or not, has an insta-kill parry if you get him to use the right attack. Like that. Oops. Tried to dodge, but I was not fast enough. Yeah, so honestly, we're in an arena where everyone here just kills and gets killed for sport. So as great a tragedy as it is, we have to kill some of them. We don't have a choice. There we go. Get rid of that jetpack. So you're not going to take us off guard again. Freeze. Get out of here. Yeah, so we're never going back there.
Hey, Grease. You're famous down there.
Yeah, they're an ugly group, huh? They smell like used droid oil. At least they're okay.
Yeah, a complication we could have avoided. Luckily, we found you.
We have another complication. The Empire knows about the holocron.
That's not good. The entire mission is now at risk.
And I had a nice chat with the second sister, Trilla.
What did she tell you?
She told me you betrayed her to the Empire. Is it true?
She'll say anything to jeopardize this mission.
Is it true?
she was my apprentice. Before the purge.
You should have told me.
We're getting an encrypted message from Kashyyyk.
Mari.
Cal, we found Tarful, and he is willing to meet you. That's not all. The Empire overran our position at the refinery. Saw retreated off-world. Some of us have joined the Wookiee fighters in the forests. Be careful.
You too.
Later.
Later. You have her lead.
Okay, this is fine. Everything is gonna be fine.
So we have Grease's old gangster buddies coming after us. Sarah lying to us about her Padawan.
Can we talk?
So much for us being friends.
Can we talk? I don't know what's going on between you and her. I mean, I figure it's some kind of Jedi thing, but I don't think this is the right time for
It's
it.
not any of your business.
I think it's my business. And we're all in this together, aren't we? Hey, Cal. I made a mistake. And I almost got you killed. I'm sorry. I mean, we all make mistakes, right? Well, maybe not you. Hey, why don't you cut her some slack? I'm not saying do it for me, but you two are the best thing that ever happened in my life. Before you came along, all I cared about was a tight hand on a stiff heater. That's a game term.
I know what it is.
Cal, life's not a game. Before you two, all I cared about was myself. Easy money. Now it's different.
Yeah, so there's some nice bits of character development there with Grease. So the next place that we're going to go is Kashyyyk, but we're not going to go there yet because we've already been streaming for about 2 hours, and that's about as much as I kind of want to do in one session for this game. So next time, we are going to go back to Kashyyyk to meet with Tarful and hopefully find the Astrium that will lead us back to Bogano and allow us to get the holocron. Keep it out of Trilla's hands. Thanks for watching, everybody.
I'm rooting for you.
Me and this little seed will see you next time.